Still not got an intro. Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? We have an issue. So I've just finished my first stream, but we're trying to go daily December on Twitch as well at Harry Hesketh. We just opened our 30-0 rewards live on stream, and it got a bit messy. It got out of hand, like every single stream. Roll the clip. Yeah, so this absolute slabhead slicked a disco ball in half. I'm sorry if I get these custom tactics a bit wrong, but I think I've got concussion. But you shall see the rewards in the full tomorrow morning. Make sure you get a notification for that. Just sub, please. I don't do this all the time. I don't beg like Will and E every video. Please like this video. It means a massive amount to me. Shut up. How am I beefing Will on a custom tactics video? Right. So I know there'll be some random people, some new people clicking on this video thinking, oh, well, he only got the 30 of these custom tactics because of his team. Well, more for you because actually I got top 100 in the Bronze 217. Oh, I can't do it with a straight face anymore. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm the best weekend league player in history. I'm not paid to win, so just shut up and listen. Currently, you lot wanted me to go for the streak, so we're 19-0 at the minute with this team. I'm probably going to, like, not attempt to do it anymore, to be honest, because I want to do the challenges again. It's just so much more fun, and I only play FIFA when I enjoy it. With this team, it's easy. But the custom tactics do carry over to my challenge teams as well, so I'm just using this as an example, but don't worry, I use it with my 500k teams and a mil coin teams now as well at the minute anyway, can't speak. But I'm not going to keep you forever, so the main tactic we use through pretty much the whole thing is this attacking one now, this 4-4-2 flat. Brexit is back! But we don't play like Brexit at all, as you've seen my gameplay. But still, here we have it. Balanced. 6 width. Why? Because I didn't want it to be on 5. And I like getting down the sides. I don't like the narrows. I feel clumped and claustrophobic. So we've whacked that up one. And this links in more with the long ball and the instructions that I have on the wide midfielders. But basically, you need them to be wide. Because if you get the ball with like your centre back or centre mid in a deep area and do a driven long ball, which you can do with R1 and square, then like your wide midfielders are through all the time. So that's why I've got that on wide. The depth 8. Because people just have this conception that you need to play depth of like 5 or below for it to be like a conservative game. Like you don't. 8 depth isn't bad. They're not just stood on the halfway line waiting to get done by one through ball. Like it's fine. In my opinion, your defense doesn't have to change that much. It's more that your attackers and wide midfielders are better on a press. And this is the main reason why I've chosen 4-4-2 as well. Because we all know this FIFA, well, the original game was actually quite good for about 7 days. Cheesy, eh? I realized that you couldn't really second man press. And I'm a very manual defender. When you're defending, right, you need to get in the lane of the ball and sprint at the player. Don't do all of this jockey and tassing about. Get in the line of the ball and run at the player. And 4-2-3-1 was always the best formation for this. But the players just like naturally drop off a bit too much this year. So I think you need 2 up front to kind of pin them in and like set traps. Offensive style long ball, which in my opinion is the most important bit of this whole custom tactic. It's just so different to balance and I don't like any of the others. Your wide midfielders are just so much more in the game. They're making runs inward, outward. Inward is because of the instructions that I'll show you in a minute, but they're just always there, whereas when you're on balance it seems as though your wide midfielders in a 4-4-2 they kind of get lost and they're kind of not involved. I think that's the main thing that long ball does, and it makes your fullbacks just that tiny bit wider as an out ball, so it's very easy to like get down the line with this and obviously get your whole team forward, which is what you want to do at the end of the day. The offensive width I actually have on 6 for the reasons that I mentioned before, but I think I must have changed it when I was like setting this up. I definitely have it on 6, especially when people are trying to pin you in on this game, because so many people rely on an AI press because they can't do it themselves. This width and long ball allows you to beat that with considerable ease. That's the reason for that. Players in box 6 doesn't really make a difference. Like I've tried 4, I've tried 5, I've tried 6. The same players are going to be making the same runs into the box, so I just have it on 6 because I like the number 6. Corners, a lot of people have it on 3 because that's a default thing, I think. You can actually get countered from corners on this game, so just put it as 2. Like, don't really need to explain that, do I? And now player instructions on this all-important 4-4-2. We've got the fullbacks on stay back, not overlap on this one, because long ball kind of does it for you. If you do stay back and overlap and long ball, then they're a bit too high and wide, and if you lose the ball in the wrong area, then someone just gets in between your centre back and full back. So we don't go overlap with this 4-4-2, we do with 4-2-3-1. And then the wide midfielders, this is the main bits of the instructions for this formation. Cut inside, get in behind, and get in the box for cross. Mix all these ingredients with long ball and you have players who get involved. Usually with this formation, when you get the ball at your striker's feet, whereas that's always the aim, the only thing you've got to try and do is like a 1-2 with your striker. Well, the wide midfielders making these sort of runs all the time, you've just got so many options, and it doesn't leave you open when you lose a ball as well because they get back. Like I tried free roam, I tried everything, but cut inside was one where they got most involved. Free roam seemed to like drain stamina a bit as well. Get into box for cross, that's because say if Neymar has it on his side out wide, Joao Felix will kind of start tucking in and getting involved and like be available on the edge of the box. It doesn't necessarily mean like you're going to whip it and head it with that player. Don't worry about that. The two centre mids, I've got stay back and cover centre, because if they're not on stay back, they get a bit wild. And you want them to relax a bit. You want them to always be available for the ball and be available for that first time driven pass into your striker's feet to set up the attack from there. Like, no matter what plays you have there, just do it as stay back and cover centre. They get forward enough anyway. Like, they don't just like stay on the halfway line or whatever. And then two strikers, I do not touch whatsoever. Also, when you're picking a team with this formation in a 4-4-2, and the reason why I think it's much better than 4-2-3-1 now, not to mention the fact that EA are basically making this game FIFA 20 again. Like, what are you doing? In the recent patches, they've slowed down driven passes. They've increased the likeliness of interceptions twice in a row. So people are just going to be stood there like that on the edge of the box. Like, why are you trying to make every game like FIFA 20? It started off good as well. It started off attacking with skills again. Just let people attack and play free-flowing FIFA. Yeah, I went off on a bit of a tangent. Basically, headers are like back. Not scoring them because the manual, but when you chip it up the field, say to Cristiano Ronaldo from any area, he'll most likely win the header. And it's much easier to nod it down to a second striker than in a 4-2-3-1. There's no really to head it down to. And last year, headers were awful anyway, so it didn't really matter. Then basically what I do, I've got this defensive option in a 4-4-2. So if the game's getting a bit too stretched and I'm against someone who keeps getting in, then I'll just tighten it up a bit. It's ish the same tactics, but I just go balanced and then balance on offensive, because like I said, that change between balance and long ball makes so much of a difference. But yeah, pretty standard 5-5-5 and then 6 just because I had to have 1 on 6. Instructions on this one, when the game gets a bit tighter, stay back on fullbacks. Exactly, I think every single instruction is the exact same actually. Yes, it is. So yeah, the only difference is if I don't want the game to be end to end and I want to start controlling it a bit more, then I'll just put the offensive style on balance, and you can literally do it at the flick of a D-pad. Then we don't really have a part the bus rat formation if we're ahead. We've still got a 4-2-3-1 if we need to make it really tight, say last 20 minutes, 15 minutes if we're 1 up. Then we'll go to 4-2-3-1, 5 width, 3 depth. I never want to go drop back and like have 2 depth, because it just invites them to have the ball near your box, and if they've not got the ball near your box, then they're not going to score. So that's why we go with this, with stay back on both fullbacks, stay back cover centre again on CDMs, again always get into box on the wide cams, and come back on defence on the striker. And for me, because at this point of the game, they're usually going to be on ultra attacking anyway, and their team will be team pressing you. And when you've got a team press, I think 4-2-3-1 is a very good way, because your CDMs pull off in an area to get your wingers down the line. It's just a very good formation to just keep the ball. The issue why I've gone off it now in attack is this game, it needs 2 strikers. Whether that's a narrow, whether that's 4-2-2, whether it's even 5 at the back but with 2 strikers, I'm resigned to the fact that this game kind of needs 2 strikers to create chances, because we all know what the blocks are like on this game. And oh, they adjusted it in the patch. No, you didn't. Like, you could do the traditional try and get it to your striker's feet in a 4-2-3-1, but when you try and turn, scoop, or turn the skill, there's just always a defender's leg there. Where you've got 2 strikers, you can kind of just do a short pass and hit it. And then our YOLO formation, as always this year, is a 4-3-1-2 with press after possession loss. The reason why we don't have constant pressure is because you can do it on your D-pad. And say if I've ran out of pauses, or I put it on a bit early, like the 65th minute or something, then I don't want my team to constant press straight away, because I don't want the game to get too much away from me. And again, you can press down and left on the D-pad to get team press anyway. Depth 9, just because I've got something against it being 10, I've no idea. Long ball, because we're an absolute long ball merchant. Width is 7 on defense and defense, because we've got a narrow formation, so you want your players to not be too close together, don't you? Players in box 7, again, this doesn't really matter. Like, the players you tell to get in box on instructions are going to get in the box anyway. Like, as you'll see, the instructions, we don't have the fullbacks on stay back, because we'll probably be behind at this point. We've got them on overlap. Our middle centre mid on stay back and cover centre. We've got the best attacker out of the 2 centre mids on get forward. We don't touch the other centre mid. Get into box on the centre attacking mid, then we don't touch the 2 strikers as usual. And you know the score around here. This is why you need to subscribe to the channel. The people's champion does what the people want. I'm not going to drag this out for 10 minutes. I'm not going to drag 2 videos out for 10 minutes over controller settings and camera settings and custom tactics. It's all coming in one. Controller settings, if you want to copy these, be my absolute guest. On. I don't turn anyone on. Auto switching, air balls and loose balls, of course. Auto switching move assistance. I don't trust EA with anything except the fact that I have all my settings on assisted. But now, like, if there's a chip through ball and my player's running in that direction, I want to be able to change direction to the ball as quick as possible. Low isn't too bad as well, but high. Say if someone puts a crossing or a chip through ball, your player's not in the track of that ball, then you're not going to be able to turn in time to intercept it. Jockey assisted, I don't know, I've just not changed it. I've not changed all these on things as well. Assisted headers, I think you can't change in FUT champs anyway, so just forget about that. Right stick switching, player relative every single time. You should know this by now. Ball relative, if you've got that on, don't play a game of FIFA. You are an idiot. Ground pass assisted, through but semi? What? Are you joking? What? Why? Have all you got that in semi? My head's gone. I wonder if I've got like that on Xbox. What is that? How is a through ball semi? I don't get it. Okay, I might need to look into that after this video. But I've definitely had it on semi all year because I've not touched these. Come on, 90-0 on semi-assisted controls. We do think, well, I'm not changing it now, but I'm guessing you should put it on assisted. Yeah, I'll try that out. Short assistance, obviously all assisted. Analog sprint I have on because I actually like tapping the sprint button a bit when I turn. Pass receiver lock, obviously late. Obviously you want to change direction if someone gets in the middle of your pass. Put it on late. Attack. Oh, a lot of new people won't know, will you? I actually press X as tackle instead of circle. That's because, actually the reason's quite funny. So when I was in the Spencer FC Game Academy trying to win it, I googled best FIFA player in the world. It came up Gorilla at the time. And then he did like a tactics video and I thought his tackle was X or A on Xbox. It turned out that was just his second man press, but I changed it thinking it was tackle and then I just got used to it. So I wish there was a fully tactical reason at the start. But the reason why I've not changed it back is because I actually started liking it, because especially on this FIFA's a bit different because you need to time tackles a bit more. But on FIFA's like 2 ago when you used to spam tackle button, I could spam it dead quick and hard, like, ugh! And then instead of my player booting it out or shooting, he just passed to another player, like when I got the ball. So yeah, I actually ended up quite liking it. And then you want to see camera settings probably, don't you? And then my camera settings are tele-broadcast and custom 15 height, 0 zoom. Am I going to pretend to give you a reason on that? Absolutely not. I literally finished 8th in the world last season throughout the whole global series on co-op camera. But because this is content season, I feel like content looks better on telebroadcast, so I've actually changed for you lot. I'm taking a hit to my FIFA ability for you, so subscribe. But the best camera on the game, we all know it. If you're new around here, I've done FUT Champs and I won a draft with pro camera. You don't know how satisfying it is. Go and watch it right now because I'm going to end this video now. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this improves your Weekend League performance. Put in the comments right now, actually quick, what you want me to do this Weekend League with, because I will be starting it around about the time this goes out. I'll also be streaming all Weekend League games on Harry Hesketh on Twitch. But yeah, make sure you put in the comments what team you want me to use. It's important. I listen to the people. Leave a like if you've enjoyed this video. 15,000 if you want a skill tutorial. Subscribe for more, and until next time.